Hey, this is Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I'm using a brand new deck that was just sent to me, and this is the Luminous Flow Tarot, and this is a deck by Ethony, and this is the first time I have read with this deck, so I'm excited to break this deck in and see how it reads. Okay, so my intention with the reading is to get an overview of the week ahead and the various energies and opportunities that may lie ahead for us so that we can make the most of things. So I'm hoping that these cards are going to kind of give us some guidance as to what to focus on, what to look out for, and yeah, let's get started. Let's dive in. Now, if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you enjoy this reading, please give me a like, leave me a comment, or even subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out, so thank you. Okay, King of Cups. This is for the beginning of the week, so Monday, Tuesday-ish, right at the start of the week, and we have King of Cups. And King of Cups is all about confidence, and it's also an emotional card. And it's about holding a space for your emotions, your feelings, and your intuition while you step forward confidently. So it's kind of this interesting combination of energies happening with this card. So beginning of the week, I think this is a good time for making decisions. But what I'm getting from the King of Cups is that when you sit down to make those decisions and decide what actions you're going to take and where you're going to go and what you're going to put your attention on, it's important to consider the emotional realm, and it's important to allow your intuition a seat at the table. What I love about the King of Cups is that it has this masculine energy, but it also has the feminine energy from the Suit of Cups. And so it has those kind of two energies kind of intertwining, intermingling. And so it's kind of this nice balanced card in that sense. And I feel like there's something else that I want to say about this card. I feel like there's something else to uncover here, but I'm going to come back to this card. So let's move on to the middle of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday-ish. And here we have the Three of Cups for the middle of the week. I love seeing the Three of Cups in a reading. The Three of Cups is just a fun card, and it's a reminder to not take everything super seriously and make room for playfulness, make room for fun and laughter and doing silly stuff. Not everything has to have a purpose. Not everything has to be meaningful or serious or I kind of do this with the books that I read. So I do like to read a lot of serious books, what other people might call serious books. But then I love to take a break and read something silly, like some kind of silly romance novel. So I like to mix it up. And I feel like the Three of Cups is really inviting you to do this midweek. It's like midweek, take a break, have some fun, and prioritize getting out and socializing. That's another thing I associate the Three of Cups with, is friendship, connection, socializing with others. And then as we get to the end of the week, we have Nine of Pentacles. Now, these two together are interesting because I think of the Nine of Pentacles as being the leisure and pleasure card. And Three of Cups is kind of like that as well. It's also a pleasure card. You could even argue that the King of Cups is kind of similar in that way as well. So I actually see all of these cards being about pleasure and enjoyment and relaxation. And seeing if you can prioritize that this week, even if that feels totally unrealistic and you have a really busy week, seeing if you can just carve out a little bit of time here and there, a little bit of space here and there for leisure and pleasure, however that looks like to you. So Nine of Pentacles, and this is the card for the weekend. I see this card as being about reconnecting with your body. And I feel like we just had this card, and I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but I feel like I just read this card. So Nine of Pentacles is about connecting with your body and being in the now, being present. There's something intensely sensual about being in the present moment. And the woman on this card is feeling the wind, feeling the breeze on her skin, feeling the sun shining on her. She has her bird perched on her hand, and there's blooms of flowers all around her. And it just makes me think of like stepping outside on a beautiful spring day. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. There's that smell of like apple blossoms and cherry blossoms in the air. And it really is just about being present. Okay, let's look at all of the cards because I feel like there's a message that all of these cards have for us. Okay, so King of Cups, I feel like the message here, and I don't know if I really emphasized this the first time around, but I'm seeing it now. now that I'm looking at all of the cards together, I can see it now. I think the King of Cups is encouraging you to really honor and respect your intuition and your emotions. And that is how this King of Cups, is very different from the other kings. The King of Cups has this intense reverence, not irreverence, has this intense reverence and respect for the emotional realm and the realm of intuition and feeling, relationships, emotions, all of that sometimes I feel like we don't take that realm as seriously as some of the other realms and areas. But the King of Cups is saying, no, this week, hold a space for your emotions and your feelings. You don't have to change them. You don't want to judge them, but just holding a space for them to be there, just allowing yourself to feel the feelings that come up, and really practice honoring your intuition. What does that look like for you? What does honoring your intuition look like? Does that mean listening to your intuition more, considering your intuition, maybe starting an intuition journal where you keep track of intuitive experiences you have, or making time for things like tarot and meditation and things like that. But the King of Cups is saying, honor that part of you. And once you do that, these are the cards that follow. And so it's almost like you allow yourself to kind of open up to this other realm that maybe you weren't fully open to before. And there's many gifts. That realm has many gifts. So there's a lot of fun happening with the Three of Cups. Nine of Pentacles, I don't necessarily think of as like a fun card, but it's like a very relaxing, peaceful card, being at peace and having this sense of abundance. Three of Cups also feels like a very abundant card, but it's not so much about financial abundance, but it's more about like abundance of laughter, friendship, enjoyable experiences, sense of community. So it's experiencing abundance in a different kind of way. So both Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, getting tongue-tied. Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles are both cards of abundance, I think. And King of Cups also, in a way, is a king of abundance because, all the kings, I think, kind of represent abundance of wisdom and confidence. Okay, so I just want to see if there's anything else. I feel like that these two cards are so similar. We see the woman kind of stretching out, kind of arching, just like this woman here. They're kind of in a similar sort of pose where they're sort of reaching back. Dancing might be something to prioritize this week if you enjoy dancing, like moving your body, dancing, celebrating. And there is some kind of relationship between dancing and like moving your body to music and kind of opening up those intuition pathways. So if you feel like your intuition is kind of stuck this week or it's kind of blocked, maybe like moving your body, dancing, kind of moving with the flow is something that might help you. So that in a nutshell is our week ahead. Actually looks like a really lovely week. So making sure you make time to honor your intuition, make time for socializing, friendship, make time for leisure time and relaxing and getting into your body. Even if you don't have, a huge block of time to do this, taking little mini breaks to just connect with your body, connect with your breath, that will go a long way in helping you feel renewed and refreshed this week. Okay, so that has been your weekly tarot card reading. My name is Kate, the Daily Tarot Girl. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week.